What's going on, y'all? It's the Wake Up Crew. Ray G, joined as always by Jay Rich to talk some NBA prop plays for this Thursday, November the 3rd, 2022 NBA slate. Jay, quick recap of the plays that we talked about on the channel yesterday. Not good. Davion Mitchell didn't do anything. Didn't score, didn't turn the ball over, did nothing. Neither of those two plays hit. I also talked about Jason Tatum's first half points. He had 2 points after the first quarter, so I knew that was not going to fare well. He ended up with 11, and then Brook Lopez had a block taken away, turned the ball over 3 times, and did not go over his fantasy score. It's all right, ebbs and flows of betting. That's what it is. We get back to the grind, and we try to hit it again another day. And I think we have 2 really solid plays for you on the slate tonight. So let's get into them right after the intro.
For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money, the NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PRIZEPICKS, NBA props. Let's
count that money, man. All right, Jay, I want to start with the Oklahoma City versus Denver game. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his fantasy score of 47.5. I'm loving the over in this one, Jay. We can pull up our model and take a look at where we have him. And I guess you could look at a little bit of everything as far as where we have him tonight. The number one matchup for fantasy score against the shooting guards. You see where he's at. Fantasy score, they're allowing the Denver Nuggets are allowing opposing shooting guards 81.8 fantasy score, and his is set at 47.5. We have him projected. Let me slide this over a little bit so we could look at the projections for him tonight. We have him projected at 54.8, 73 probability of an over. He's averaging 54.9 on his fantasy score on the season. And when you're looking at Denver and what they do defensively, not good at all. So they are 24th in points allowed, 24th in field goal percentage, 22nd in three-pointers allowed, 23rd in three-point percentage. And point guard defense, whether Shai's a point guard or a shooting guard, I don't really know. He plays both, 29th. So right at the bottom of the NBA for this statistical category. This is one where I anticipate him, even with Josh Giddey back. We saw Giddey diming the ball out and dishing quite a bit. Shai is eighth in the NBA in usage rate, only behind like Dame Lillard, Luka, Giannis. You're talking about a player that's got the ball in his hands, that plays defense, that's getting you 2, 3, 4 steals per game, as well as scoring 20-plus points. Not really a big rebounder, but you just see him across the board. It's just greenlit across the board. So if you don't like the fantasy score, I do think the points, rebounds, and assists are in play, or the points. I would stay away from the rebounds and the assists with Giddey back, but I really like Shai's fantasy score tonight more than 47.5.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You know, the defense is the big thing for him this year. And I talked about it with Brook Lopez. And while I was a fool for thinking that the Detroit Pistons could be competitive 2 games in a row against the Bucks, tonight I think that Shai can have a great game against Denver. You kind of laid out the case with Denver and kind of why we don't expect them to have the best game. They haven't been playing great defense. He probably sees a ton of Jamal Murray potentially. Height advantage there. I think there's a comparable skill advantage and can take advantage on the defensive end. So I do like that quite a bit. I think that you're right on track with the fantasy score. 54 sounds high, but almost every day, because of how good he's been, he is right there near the top in our projection system for fantasy scores. So Shai should have another good game, even with Giddey back. Giddey only played 25 minutes last game. Maybe he sees a little bit more this time around. But, I mean, Giddey is a guy, you know, not an official play, but was looking at his assists at 6. He did have 10 in 25 minutes. But I'm going to the man today, Steph Curry. We are not going to get Taco Curse. So
No.
You have my promise. We will not get Taco Curse tonight with Steph Curry. Whether you like his points, whether you like his par, coming off a game, 23 points, 13 rebounds, 13 assists, triple-double against the Heat. And Ray, what happened? The Warriors lost. Again, they lost on the road. And today, they cannot lose to the Orlando Magic. They cannot lose another game on the road, and that will be on the back of Steph Curry. I think the best numbers by far, you look at our projection system, it's probably the points plus rebounds. You see his rebounds each of the last 5 games going over 6. His rebounds are 6 on PrizePicks if you do like that number. But I do like the security of having the points as well, because we know that Steph is a guy that can go over the 32.5 just by himself in terms of the points. So I do like both those numbers. He's been aggressive rebounding the ball. He's been scoring a little bit. And you mentioned this to me only 14 attempts in the last game. The last time he did that was against Memphis when they
Yep.
blew them out in the playoffs. So Steph is definitely due, and I think they're going to lean on him in this one as well. And then I wanted to mention, Ray, Draymond Green's turnovers over 2.5 is another one I am looking at. He's gone over in 4 of the previous 5 games he's played. The only one he didn't was against the Heat when obviously Steph was handling the ball a lot more. So those are some plays you can look at. Ray, is there anything else you're looking at today?
Well, I mean, I think the Draymond turnovers definitely in play. Also, just per the data, per the model, his assist. Like, Jay, I'm really on some under stuff, man. I really, right now, unders. I want to be the Undertaker. I know that's not our natural inclination to take unders, but they hit quite a bit. And he's one of the highest rated players in our model for going under his 5.5 assists. Now, I know the books have this juiced a little bit to the over. PrizePicks giving it to us at 5.5. If I were going to take an underplay, Jay, it would be Draymond Green's assist. Not recommending it as a core play, as I don't think you're recommending the turnovers as a core play. So I like both of them. I like both numbers, but I do like Shay's fantasy score and Steph Curry. And just, I want to throw it out there, Jay. What about Curry's points, rebounds, and assists? That's pretty high in the model as well, if some people wanted a little extra security with the assist as well.
Yeah, so the points, rebounds, and assists, like you see it right here, 39.5. It is a good number. The bigger thing for me is that he's been more consistent as a rebounder than as a passer.
Okay.
And so you look at the past games data, it's going to skew both those numbers towards the over because he had 13 of both. I think he's been a little bit more consistent as a rebounder than as a passer. But again, it just depends how he wants to take over. Going 23, 13, 13, ridiculous,
Yeah.
right? He could do it again if he wanted to against Orlando. Orlando is a bigger team. I think he will have to score. So I'm curious how they have this game plan, but it will have to run through Steph Curry. Klay Thompson also coming off a good game. And then Ray, another guy I'm looking at is Michael Porter Jr. I wish I could have told you guys to take the over on his points when it was at 16.5. Now it's at 17.5. It's still 16.5 on some of the books. But it is juiced to the over -135. His threes look really good as well, but that's not on PrizePicks. He's hit in 5 of 5 at 16.5, but 17.5, he hasn't quite. And he did put up 22 on OKC the last time they played, going 5 for 10 from 3. So that is a big factor there. If you do like Michael Porter Jr. or have been thinking of him, he is someone I bet much earlier in the day, but now with the number changing a little bit, I'm not all in, but I think it is flex worthy if you do still like that number.
Well, there it is, the 2 core plays. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, more than 47.5 fantasy score, and Steph Curry, more than 32.5 points and rebounds. There you go. We provide you the data. We give you the plays. We show you the model. We walk you through our process and give you our picks for free. So take what you like, leave what you don't. All that we ask is you hit a thumbs up button, subscribe, like the content, comment below. Let me know what you're rocking with. And again, no taco curse. We should be clear for takeoff tonight.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate y'all watching and tapping in. If you tail, give PrizePicks hell. And if we fail, don't bail. Y'all enjoy the games tonight. Good luck and good night. We're out. Peace.